Good afternoon, sir. We are Group 8. This is Chapter 9. Our topic is Filipino-American relation and biography of famous Filipinos. Filipino-American relation. Reason of Philippine-American relation and usual colonial relationship. It happens when the United States took control of the Philippines from the Spanish. They shared power with an emergent Filipino elite, introduced suffrage movement, implemented public education, and promised eventual national independence. So, nindot raman ang pagdumala sa Americans towards the Philippines, unlike sa mga naandan sa Filipinos under the Spanish rule nga it was really brutal governance and a lot of inhuman actions done to them because there is slavery and forced labor happened during the Spanish rule. So pagsud sa mga Amerikano ug gidumala ang Pilipinas, so the Filipinos feel strange of their governance kay murag lugar gihatagan sila og freedom, kanang gi-providean sila og a good education system, and the Americans share power to the Filipinos unlike sa mga Spaniards, especially sa mga buhis nga yuta nga gisakaan sa mga Filipinos. Nga ang buhis mapunta sa mga Spaniards sa mga pagdumala sa mga Amerikano is lahi ra kaayo sa mga Spaniards nga brutal kaayo ang pagtrato sa mga Filipino, gihimo nila slaves. So the way the Americans govern the Philippines, murag ang Pilipino na move kay strange or kanang lahi ra kayo sa ilahang naandan sa mga Spaniards, and the relationship between the two countries was even getting more stronger, and special when the US or the United States shared experience fighting against the Japanese in the World War II and defeating a post-war communist rebellion. So the Philippine-American relationship was cemented with the United States took part of fighting against the Japanese on World War II and the post-war communist rebellion. Economic and military treaty. United States took advantage of the said special relationship to compel the Philippines to sign an economic and military treaty that favored American businesses and the military respectively. Filipino leaders not only accepted the realities of this strategic game and exploited opening to assert national interest, but also benefited from American largesse. So kay murag ang bond or the relationships of the Philippine-American relationship was getting stronger and getting even more special. The United States took advantages to it. So gi-pressure nila ang Philippines, or they obliged the Philippines to sign the economic and military treaty that favored the American businesses and military respectively. Dictatorship of President Ferdinand Marcos. During this period, the mutual cadging was at its most brazen. As a result, military alliance suffered when the Philippines terminated the agreement. U.S. considerably reduced its support to the country. to the Matual Kitchen was at its most Brazil. It was bold, it was shameless, like grabe na kaayo ang pag take advantage nila sa usag-usa. So as a result, when the Philippines terminated the agreement of the alliance or gistap nila ang alyansa, the military is alliance suffered to the US considerably reduced its support to the Philippines, of course, because gistap man sa Philippines ang ilang agreement. Special relationship. Describe the strong relationship between the United States and the Philippines. So during the presidency of Rodrigo Duterte, the president supportive of a foreign policy that is less dependent on the United States because he prioritized NATO or NATO stands President Rodrigo Duterte, supportive of a foreign policy that is less dependent on the United States, prioritized closer relations with China. NATO or NATO stands as North Atlantic Treaty, American and Europe, and so United States. Moving on, now let's go to the biography of famous Filipinos. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado A. Alonso Realonda, date of birth June 19, 1861, place of birth Calamba, Laguna, 7th child, 11 children, 2 boys and 9 girls. Father Francisco Mercado Rizal, born in Binian, Laguna, and industrious farmer. Mother Chedora Alonso Iquinton, born in Mexico, Santa Cruz, Manila, a highly cultured and accomplished woman. First up is one of the most famous Filipino hero and known around the world. Jose Rizal was born on June 19, 1861 from the town of Calamba in province of Laguna. He is 7th child of Francisco Mercado Rizal. Jose was born in Binian, Laguna, an industrious farmer, and his mother is that was after Governor General Narciso. His mother is Chedora Alonso E. Kenton, born in Mexico, Santa Cruz, Manila, a highly cultured and accomplished woman. That was after Governor General Narciso Claveria E. Saldova decreed the adoption of Spanish surnames among the Filipino. For census purposes, through they already had a Spanish name. So, after result mock trial, he was convicted to rebellion sedition and of forming illegal association on December 30, 1895. 85 years old, he was shot at Magumbayan Field. So si Jose Rizal was widely considered as one of the greatest heroes of the Philippines. So such as Mo Ultimong Adios sa aking mga kabata or Tagalog poem to them of loving of one's national language, my first inspiration, which she wrote She wrote this poem during high school days and was dedicated to his mother on her birthday, the young woman of Malolos and others. He is widely considered as one of the greatest heroes of the Philippines. He was an author of the famous novels No Limitang Hire and El Filibusterismo and a number of poems and essays. Rizal's were or mixed origin. Jose's patrilineal lineage traced back to Fujian in China through his father's ancestors, Lam Kao, a Chinese merchant. In late 7th century, Lam Kao traveled to Manila from Amit, China in 1697. Lam Kao converted to Catholicism and changed his name to Domingo Mercado to escape anti-Chinese prejudice existed in the Philippines. Jose's patrilineal lineage results ancestry include Chinese, Japanese, and Tagalog blood. His mother's lineage can be traced back to the affluent Florentina family of Chinese mestizo families originating in Baluag, Bulacan. Jose Rizal also had Spanish ancestry. His grandfather was a half Spaniard engineer named Lorenzo Alberto Alonso. Education in Benian. At the age of 3, he learned alphabet from his mother, and at the age of 5, he could read and write. Rizal first studied under Maestro Justiniano Aquino Cruz in Binian, Laguna. Education in Antonio Municipal de Manila. Rizal dropped his last 3 Mercado Alonso Realunda names that made up his full name. His name changed Jose as Rizal. Jose Rizal took the entrance examination at the Colegio de San Juan de Letran as to his father's request, but his father changed his mind and sent Rizal to Ateneo Municipal de Manila and obtained his Bachelor of Arts degree as he graduated. He continued to study at Ateneo Municipal de Manila to obtain a land surveyor and assessor's degree, and at the same time at the University of Santo Tomas, where he did take up a preparatory course in law. He enrolled medicine at University of Santo Tomas, specializing later on ophthalmology. On May 1882, Rizal traveled alone to Madrid, Spain, and continued his studies in medicine at the Universidad de Madrid, where he earned the degree of licentiate in medicine. He also attended medical lectures at the University of Paris and University of Heidelberg. He was a member of Berlin Ethnological Society and the Berlin Anthropology Society under the patronage of the famous pathologist Rudolf Virchow. He left Heidelberg a poem, A las Flores del Heidelberg. In 1887, he completed his eye specialization at Heidelberg under the renewed Professor Otto Becker. He used the newly invented ophthalmoscope invented by Hermann von Helmholtz to later operate his own mother eye. From Heidelberg, Rizal wrote his parents, I spend half on the day in the study of German and the other half in the disease of the eye. Twice a week, I go to the Berbrowie or baseball to speak German with my student friends. Rizal wrote the last few chapters of Noli Me Tangere in Wilhelmsfeld by 1891. The year Rizal finished his El Filibusterismo, this second short name Rizal became so well known that he writes to another friend, all of my family now carry the name Rizal instead of Mercado because the name Rizal means pursue, caution, good. I too want to join them and be worthy of his family name. So he traveled along to Madrid without his parents' knowledge and consent, but he was secretly supported by his brother Pasciano. Go!
Cayetano Arellano A. Lonzon, March 2, 1847, December 23, 1920, was the first Chief Justice of the Philippines under the American civil government. So si Cayetano Arellano A. Lonzon kay siya mo'y nahimong first justice of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court sa Pilipinas. Tas under siya sa American civil government. And then Cayetano occupied a high position in Aguinaldo's government. So si Cayetano kay naka-okupado siya sa kinatasan nga posisyon sa Aguinaldo's government. He worked with the Americans under General Otis and reestablished the Audiencia Territorial. So si Cayetano nanarbaho siya kuyog sa Americans under ni General Otis and gi-establish nila ang Audiencia Territorial unya gipanganlan nila og Supreme Court. Then Cayetano kay he was Chief Justice from 1901 until his retirement on April 12, 1920, making him in the longest serving Chief Justice. So si Cayetano was Chief Justice from 1901, din mao ni iyang kinaunuhan nga pagka Chief Justice pag 1901, din iyang pagka-retirement on April 12, 1920. So siya maoy kinadugayan nga he was born in Udyong, New Orion, Bataan to Servando Arellano, a working Spaniard, and Crispura Lonzon, a meeting in Bataan. So si Servando Arellano kay siya sa Spaniard nga gatrabaho. He started as working student in Colegio de San Juan de Letran. After finishing his high school, he transferred to University of Santo Tomas, where he finished Bachelor of Philosophy in 1862 and Bachelor of Technology in 1867. Bachelor of Theology in 1867, din nipadayon siya eskwela para mahuman iyang law in 1876. During the Spaniard regime, he was appointed as a magistrado suplente of the Audiencia Tribunal de Manila. So si Cayetano kay gi-appoint or gi-assign o gitagaan na pod siya posisyon as magistrado supplent of the Audiencia Tribunal de Manila. Then paghuman ana, he later became the Chief Justice of the Provisional Supreme Court created by the military in 1899. So pagka 1899, gihimo siya Chief Justice of the Provisional Supreme Court sa created by the military. Arellano, together with Pedro Paterno, Benito Ligarda, Florinto Torres, and Felipe Bensamino, testified before the Sherman Commission that the Philippines was not yet ready for self-rule. So si Arellano ang nagkuyog ni Pedro Paterno, Benito Ligarda, Florento Torres, and Felipe Bensamino. Kay ning testify sila nga sa dili pa mo Sherman Commission kay ang Pilipinas kuno kay dili iparedy nga mag-iya-iyahay kay di pa sila ready mag self-rule. So mauna they together form the Federal Party to promote the annexation of the Philippines as a states. So together with the Federal Party, ilang gi-promote ang annexation of the So ilang gi-promote ang Pilipinas as a bansa. In lieu of this objective, they petition the U.S. Congress to create the representation as well as Philippines Congress and a federal court. Ning petition sila sa US Congress nga mo create sila presentation as well as na ang Pilipinas Congress and Federal Court. Upon the onset of the American civil government in 1901, William Howard Taft appointed Arellano as the first Supreme Court Chief Justice. Ang desisyon sa American civil government in 1901, kuyog si William Howard Taft kay gi-appoint si Arellano as the first Supreme Court Chief Justice. So pag 1901, nahimo na si Arellano as the first Supreme Court Chief Justice as nga gitawag nila President in Pilipinas. Siya mao'y kinaunhang dako-dako sa Pilipinas kay gihimo naman nila ang Pilipinas as a bansa.
Imelda Marcos was born in Manila but moved on to Tacloban prior to World War II after the death of her mother. So she returned to Manila on 1950s to pursue a career as a singer and a beauty queen. 1954, she married Ferdinand Marcos, who became president of the Philippines in 1965 and in 1972, and who was declared martial law that time. As first lady, she built developments in around of metropolis of Manila while spending much of her time abroad on state visit shopping sprees. The assassination of opposition leader Benigno Aquino Jr. in 1983 caused mass protests that eventually led to the People Power Revolution. The Marcos family were forced into exile and Aquino's widow Corazon was installed as president. After the death of her husband Ferdinand, Marcos returned to the Philippines and was later elected 4 times to the House of Representatives and as a congresswoman for Leyte in 1995 and for Ilocos Norte in 2010, 2013, and 2016. Imelda Marcos was born in Manila. So, as kani si Imelda Marcos gud ay dito ni siya natawo sa Manila pero ni kuan sila niadto sila Tacloban that time kay tungod atong nay pag World War II gani. So diri nga kuan sa wala pa may tabo mamatay ang mama, ibalik siya dito. Sige. She was returned in 1950s because Imelda was a singer and a beauty queen that time. On 1954, Imelda Marcos was married to Ferdinand Marcos. So napakasal siya pagka 1954. Ani nga kuan wata kabalo usa nga pizza. Ferdinand Marcos was president from 1965 to 1972, so 7 years, and he was declared a martial law that time. There was an assassination of leader Benigno Aquino Jr. on 1983. In this time was People Power Revolution was started after the death of her husband Ferdinand Marcos. That Imelda Marcos was elected in fourth time being House of Representatives. So nahimo di siya kanang House of Representatives sa Leyte adtong 1995 si Imelda Marcos. So Imelda Marcos was born and had more than 1,000 pairs of shoes. So si Imelda Marcos di ay kay naila ni siya or nisikat ni siya tungod sa kay kani lagi kay nagpresidente man ni siya yung bana sa una. So sila gyud daghan og kwarta kay tungod sa ilahang kung atong ilahang pagdala ba sa atong Pilipinas kay sila may taas og power. So sila may unsa ilang ganahan mapalit nila. So kani si Imelda Marcos di ay daghan na siya og pair of shoes. Ang kaning pair of shoes niya tuan na niya gipangbutang sa museum tungod sa kadaghan. Ang uban gani ato kay wala na mga masuot. So karon naho na kinsa ang ganitong willing mo tan-aw sa nyani nga butang niya. Daghan pa kay mga bag, mga sagad jud sapatos ta sa museum na nakabutang karon dito sa Marikina Museum. So mone Imelda's mother's name kay Remedios. So Remedios worked for the nuns of the Asilo de San Vicente de Paul. On that the same year, pagka 1938, Imelda's father gave up Manila due to declining fortunes in his law practice. So kani si Imelda Marcos pagka 1938, ani ni siya nang gitunan siya og unsaon kay eskwela man siya law silbi umura siya manlalaban ba law nag-eskwela siya law ani nga higayon. So wala pa nahitabo og katong sa sila pa Paris pa siyang yang Paris nga si Ferdinand sa pagpakasal man niya atong higayon na. So on his return to Tacloban, so nibalik siya sa Tacloban ani nga time to support his simpler like sa side sa yang Pikas sa Tacloban sa side sa yang family sa Pikas. So na dire so support the family with simpler lifestyle. That time Imelda was met General Douglas MacArthur. So there was Philippine campaign pagka 1944 ni siya. So kani si Imelda kanang daghan ni siya lingwahe na kuan kanang pranang Tagalog, English o gamay nga pagkabisaya kay nakapundom ni sila gliti sa una. So ano siya speak Tagalog. Imelda finished grade in nearby the Holy Ghost College. Dito ni siya naghuman og eskwela sa Holy Ghost College. Then pagka college from pagka year 1936 o 1937 show that Imelda did not enrolled again. Wala siya naka-eskwela balik. Imelda that time taken by 2 pictures for the first communion at the Holy Infant Academy sa Tacloban, Leyte. So mao ni si Imelda kay nitiwas og eskwela, continue sa her higher studies pagka 1938 and hantod na pagka 1948. So 10 years na siya kahuman sa eskwela.
Biography of Andres Bonifacio. Andres Bonifacio Y. de Castro. It was on November 30, 1863. When a well-known, brave man and known to be a smart, fearless Filipino hero came into existence, named Andres Bonifacio Y. de Castro, which often can as the father of the Philippines Revolution. He was the son of Santiago Bonifacio, who was a local politician who served as a chief lieutenant of the municipal mayor of Catalina de Castro, a help Spanish who worked as a supervisor in the secret
Go.
factory over the years. Andres Bonifacio grew up in the slum of Tondo in this district outside the city of Manila. However, at, at the early age of 14, both in his parent died that left Andres Bonifacio responsible for the remaining 5 families siblings named Procopio de Castro Bonifacio, Trucadio to the Castro Bonifacio, and Ciriaco de Castro, and the 2 girls who were Esperadio Bonifacio de Estreto and Maxima de Castro Bonifacio. Because of his family responsibility and the commitment, Andres Bonifacio was forced to stop his duty to find a way for them to survive. Andres Bonifacio then started earning a living by making bamboo canes and paper pans, which he himself paddled, but still it was not enough for his family to overcome the miserable experience of poverty that they had. This video is sponsored by Hulum, the global leader in creative tablets manufacturing. This made Andres Bonifacio decided to look for a better paid salary job to age of poverty due to lack of formal education.
Biography of Manuel L. Quezon was a Filipino statesman, soldier, and politician who served as President of the Commonwealth of the Philippines from 1935 to 1944. He was the first Filipino to head a government of the entire Philippines as opposed to the government of previous Philippine states, and is considered to have been the second president of the Philippines after Emilio Aguinaldo 1899 to 1901. So si Manuel L. Quezon de usa siya ka statesman, usa sad siya ka soldier and politician. Siya ang first president sa Commonwealth of the Philippines from 1935 to 1944. So siya ang ikaduhang president sa Pilipinas. 1878 August 19. Manuel Quezon was born in the quiet town of Baler. His parents were Lucio Quezon, died 1898, and Maria Dolores Molina, June 7, 1843 to 1893. His father was a primary grade school teacher from Paco, Manila, and retired sergeant of the Spanish Colonial Army, while his mother was a primary grade school teacher in their hometown. So, si Manuel L. Quezon din natao sa August 19, 1878 dito sa quiet town of Baler. So, yung father kay si Lucio Quezon, usa ka retired sa sergeant of the Spanish Colonial Army, wala iyang mama kay usa ka teacher sa primary grade school sa ilang hometown. And the age Quezon, 1887 Quezon formative years. At the age of 9, he went to Manila as a miss boy to study at the Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Graduated summa cum laude at the University of Santo Tomas of his Bachelor of Arts. So nag-edad og maybe si Manuel L. Quezon ato siya Manila og nag-eskwela siya dito sa San Juan de Letran o nag-graduate siya summa cum laude sa iyang Bachelor of Arts. He took law studies there, but it was cut short due to the Filipino-American War. So, niskwela og law si Manuel L. Quezon ito, but naputol kay tungod sa Filipino-American War. 1899, the Filipino-American War. Quezon's law school studies were cut short due to the outbreak of the war with the Americans. He served as an aide-camp or personal secretary to Emilio Aguinaldo. He rose to the rank of first lieutenant, captain to major and fought in Bataan. So, during sa Filipino-American War, maong nag-away sila is kanang gusto man ang mga Amerikano nga ilahang ilogo ning ilahang sakopon ang bansang Pilipinas unya si Manuel L. Quezon kay dili man musugot kay moto nga hinungdan nga nag-aaway sila. 1900, the First Republic of the Philippines surrendered after the capture of President Emilio Aguinaldo. Quezon was tasked to confirm whether it's true or not. He surrendered himself to confirm Aguinaldo's capture and was released after 6 months. He continued studying law school and worked at clerk at the Mount Praedal. 1903, he finished fourth in the 903 bar examination. So nahuman niya ang kwan, kaya nakapasar siya og bar examination pag 1903. Sa 1907, a career in Congress, Manuel L. Quezon ran for public office as the governor of the province of Tayabas. He was also elected as the representative of what was then the first Philippine National Assembly, which we know this time as the majority floor leader. He eventually was elected to be resident commissioner to present the Philippines in the American Congress. Through this position, he helped to enact the Philippine Autonomy Law, also known as the Jones Law, which contains the first formal and official declaration of the United States commitment to grant the country's independence. He also now be the first Senate President of the country. So, pinaagi nini yung posisyon ni tabang siya sa paghimo sa Philippine Autonomy Law na ilan usab nga Jones Law nga naglangkob sa una nga formal official nga deklarasyon sa pagsalig sa Estados Unidos nga hatagan og kagawasan sa nasod. Nahibalan usab niya ang mahimong first Senate President sa usa ka nasod. 1918, he married his cousin Aurora Quezon, which ceremony was held in the Hong Kong. He then continued his independence mission to prove to the colonizer of the capacity of the Filipinos to govern themselves. In the 1919, he spearheaded the first independence mission of the U.S. Congress and secured the passage. So, nagpakasal siya sa iyang unang cousin nga si Aurora Quezon, which was quite common at the time. So, ilang kasal dito sa Hong Kong. Gina. 1935, the Commonwealth. Manuel Quezon became the first president of the Commonwealth after being his former co-revolutionary Emilio Aguinaldo and Catholic priest maglipain in the elections. He founded his administration of three core values: national defense, economic growth, and efficient government. And he is the one that institutionalized Filipino as our official language. During sa Commonwealth, siya ang unang president sa Commonwealth after beating his former. So sa nasa tulo ka administration, which is number 1 kay national defense, economic growth, o efficient government. Og siya usab ang siya usab ang nag-institute ani nga ang Filipino nga language si Manuel L. Quezon. Mao nang naay Filipino nga language karon. Okay. The Philippines was growing rapidly and peacefully. It got it to grounding half after Japan invaded the country on December 8, 1941. He continued to fight for independence, this time against the Japanese Empire. He fled to the island of Corregidor to avoid capture. When Corregidor fell to the Japanese, it was symbolic defeat of the Philippines against the oppressor. This prompted Quezon to move to the United States. There, he established the Commonwealth government in exile. So, napili pag-usab si Quezon pagsulong sa empire sa Hapon sa ikaduhang gubat sa World War II. Ang Pilipinas paswas og malinaw nga mitubo human kini mihunong gisulong sa Japan ang nasod niadtong Disyembre 18, 1941. Gipadayon niya ang pakigbisog alang sa kagawasan karong panahona batok sa imperyo sa Japan. Siya mikagiyo ngadto sa isla sa Corregidor aron malikayan ang pagdakop sa dihang ang Corregidor nahulog sa mga Hapon. Kadto mao'y simbolo nga kapilihan sa Pilipinas batok sa malupigan. Even in exile, Quezon did not stop. Through him, the Philippines served the Pacific War Council and joined the United Nations, and because of the Philippines is recognized as an allied nation. August 1, 1944, President Manuel L. Quezon died of complications of tuberculosis. He never got to see the free Philippines was experienced today. He dies in Saranac Lake, New York, the United States, of August 1, 19. President Manuel L. Quezon never got to see the Philippines was experienced today. He dies in Saranac, New York. So si Manuel L. Quezon namatay tungod sa sakit nga tuberculosis. So naa siya temporarily buried dito sa Arlington. So ang iyahang final nga gilubong siya kay dito sa gibalhin na siya diri sa Manila. He was buried temporarily at the Arlington National Cemetery until the end of World War II, when his remains were moved to Manila. His final resting place to the Quezon Memorial Shrine. Now Quezon is resting underneath the 217-foot monument of the Quezon Shrine, sitting at the heart of Quezon City. The monument symbolizes the legacy of his tireless efforts in fighting of the Philippines independence. So naa na siya karon gilubon sa Manila is ayam lubnganan kato monument kanang saito nga tungod sa iyahang symbolize the legacy of his tireless efforts in fighting of the Philippines independence. So mao din ni si Manuel Quezon. So na.